First tonight, the search for Sally's gold. Chinese millionaire Sally Zhao is the State Liberal Party's largest donor, but little is known about her business operations. So Today Tonight travelled to the site of her new gold mine in Central Australia, and we were surprised at what we found. Hendrik Gout has this exclusive investigation.
The locals pronounce it Tibooburra. Back of the outback. And here, as everywhere, everyone is curious about Sally Zhao, her life, her wealth, and where does it come from?
The claims that she makes for her company's activities don't quite match what the company actually does.
She's the South Aussie mining magnate who loves self-promotion but shuns the media.
Look, Sally is very big on building an image. Everything is about building an image.
She recently caused a stir, teasing the Twitter sphere with a dummy $1 million donation to the Liberal opposition on the eve of the state election.
We've checked with headquarters, no such cheque has been received.
Apparently that was just Sally being silly, although she did hand over a healthy $31,000, taking the total over the years to more than $600,000, by far the Liberal Party's biggest single donor. As for her wealth, one of her much-promoted mining ventures, a full-page ad in The Australian, is this gold mine outside Tibooburra, the Good Friday mine. On the 27th of March last year, Ms Zhao hosted a glittering ceremony in Sydney's Darling Harbour to mark the start of gold production. Her invites sent to a who's who of business and politics. The New South Wales Mines Minister accepted, as he told Parliament, promising jobs and prosperity. It's good news worthy of a closer look. At the new Eldorado near the tiny town of Tibooburra, kangaroos on the edge of town, grazing in suburban streets. Tibooburra meaning place of rocks and gold. Tens of thousands of ounces dug on these fields since the 1880s.
Yeah, I'd like to think that we can still say that there's gold out here.
The family hotel. Among the guests are a handful of out-of-town miners in the pay of the intriguing company Ausgold and its enigmatic owner.
She's called a mining magnate now. You know, to our knowledge, at the moment, there are no operating mines in Australia that she owns.
So, while over a year ago, business and political elites were told it was producing the end product, solid gold ingots up to 98% pure, yet the Department of Industry tells us approvals to commence actual mining have still not been granted, still awaiting assurances over groundwater usage. A Department of Planning and Environment spokesperson says that if there is mining going on, no one has told the regulator. So we went there, more than 300 kilometres north of Broken Hill, much of it by dirt. When we got there, mine official Luke Blore came to the gate and confirmed no gold has yet been produced. Some locals, like Mavis Jackson, who runs the Tibooburra Motel, Caravan Park and Service Station, are yet to reap the benefits.
There was a promise originally of, supporting the town and the locals and employing locals. As far as I'm aware, there's only one local person employed.
More than 12 months later, it's still a dog's life in Tibooburra, still no gold mining, still no local jobs bonanza, still no royalty riches to the state, not 1 cent. And that's a nugget of truth. Broken Hill, mining capital of Australia, and these men have helped keep it that way. All of them worked for Ausgold. All of them feel they were burnt by the experience. People like Jenny Brown's partner Lee Rossetti, who was Ausgold's general manager. He's suing Ausgold in the federal court, claiming $358,000 of unpaid wages and $673,000 for termination of contract. In its defence filed last week, Ausgold says Rossetti was a consultant but not an employee, and it denies owing anything. And last month, the New South Wales Mines Minister was asked in Parliament about Ausgold reportedly having failed to pay wages and entitlements.
Broken was small and people talk.
People like mine manager Mick Walden.
I did talk to Sally several times, you know, what's going on, am I getting paid, am I not getting paid? I actually went to Adelaide and seen Sally on the 24th of June, am I getting paid? Sally told me within 3 days I would be paid, and I still didn't get paid. So basically at the end of July, I decided, well, I've gone as far as I'm prepared to go. Yeah, and now I'm still chasing money.
Ms Zhao has reportedly denied not paying her workers, saying she never stopped paying her staff. Peter Johnson is a qualified accountant with 40 years in the mining industry.
I was introduced to Sally through Lee Rossetti when I was offered a job as company accountant for Ausgold Mining in June 2015.
When did it start to go wrong?
I can say the 23rd of December 2016 is Bert indelibly in my mind. The earth moving contractor and electrical contractor were owed significant amounts of money at that time. And when the money failed to appear in the bank account, that's when things started to turn for the worse.
Some contractors and employees engaged to work on the Good Friday mine had had enough. Peter Johnson and Mick Walden arranged to meet Sally at her newly acquired headquarters in North Terrace on the 17th of May 2017. Sally arrived on her push bike, wearing a backpack.
I remember her coming in, she'd ridden her push bike into the head office, arrived with a pack sack on her back, and proceeded to tip $120,000 on the table, which was for us to enable us to pay the employees.
It was mind-boggling. Yeah. I was impressed to see that sort of money, and it was all fresh notes. It wasn't crinkled or used notes. It was all fresh. Yeah, it was most money I've ever seen in cash in one time, in probably my whole lifetime. I'll never see it again.
Colin Riley was the mining site supervisor. His money was delivered to him separately. How much did she pay you in cash?
$5,300 and something it was, in a coffee shop.
While she had an office 200 metres up the road?
Correct. Very strange.
100+ K in cash. There. How do you, I don't know. I run my own business and I don't ever see that sort of money.
But there was a problem, how to get that much cash back safely to Broken Hill. There was only one way.
But of course, to have to carry cash back on the plane created a bit of a logistical issue for us as well. We had to go through security with, we basically were $60,000 each in our attaché case.
In April last year, Mick, Peter, Jenny and Colin were suddenly told the company had suspended all work in Broken Hill and Tibooburra, and they and 5 others were all sacked. The company will endeavour to settle any outstanding payment, said their dismissal letter. A new mine manager, Scott He, took over. We met in Tibooburra, where he pointedly refused to answer question. Ausgold and Sally Zhou have not responded to many and persistent requests for comment.
The office empty, no one inside.
In Canberra, Clive Hamilton is professor at Charles Sturt University.
One would have to say that Sally Zhou's financial affairs are very opaque. It's very hard to know where her money comes from.
This is not at all irregular, illegal or unusual in a private company, says economist and financial planner Darryl Gobbett.
Well, there could well be money coming from overseas. Ms Zhao could well be a very rich person from a rich family in her own right. It's just not evident from the records of the companies because these are private companies, unlike listed companies, which really have to show what they're doing with their money and where it's coming from.
In Tibooburra, locals are waiting for jobs, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. In Broken Hill, men chasing money they say they're owed while watching Sally splurge money in other directions.
We get the same papers up here, we see what's going on, we see the comments, we get social media are pretty quick to point out to the previous Ausgold people that Sally's donating this or doing this or commenting on this. You know, we're the ones that missed out, we didn't do nothing wrong.
Hendrik Gart with that special report.